Go in, Brady.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I didn't realize my mic was hot. That's weird. Okay.
That's why I said I was
I'll
going to
start.
go with Ann first because your mic was hot.
Sorry, I was still not even checked in fully. So I read chapter 5 today because I hadn't read that yet. And let's see here. Things I took away. Your business is supposed to serve you. You are not in service to your business. And I feel like in real estate, we sort of devote our whole life to our business rather than creating a business that is about serving us. So I love that. In terms of implementation, I've opened my account over at Bank Like Mike. I haven't gotten any deeper into that, but I was traveling all last week and I'm still just getting resettled. So this weekend is Bank Like Aeon weekend where I'm going to go make this happen. And Monday it'll all be done. My plan is to start with his basic percentages and adjust from there because I'm a nomad, so all my stuff is packed up, and quite frankly, I can't deal with going to try and pull up old stuff at this moment in time. So I'm going to be a coward, but I'm going to be a brave coward. So I'm moving forward to a brave coward.
And if anything comes up this weekend, I'm going to be working all weekend too, guys. I got a lot of catch up to do, a lot of reading, a lot of writing. So feel free. Y'all have my cell phone number. And yet I want to dive back a little bit to what Ann brought up at the beginning on chapter 5. And this is where every mic can get hot in this moment because I have a question for you. What's the purpose of your life? What are you living for? What is your big why? What's the purpose?
You know, that's just not one answer. That's actually in my book, it's 3 answers because we are physical and spiritual and mental beings.
Then what are your 3? I'm okay with
in my
client. What are your 3?
I got you. So from a spiritual perspective, it's to live my life in such a way that I reflect God. From a physical perspective, it's to take care of the body that I've been given. And from a mental perspective, it's develop my faculties to the greatest degree that I can so that I can live a purposeful life and be productive.
Awesome. And I love that. And that is your purpose for your life. Perfect. Who else?
I was just talking about this with Erica, I think. Was it Erica? I don't know. I was talking to somebody about it, and we were saying that, you know, it's a purpose to take the information that we learn, right, and be be blessed to share that information with others, and for them to, build upon that for themselves in their lives. Like, we we always just keep going, like, give it to you, this is what and you're putting that person's life at the right time. So I feel like we're all here to help educate each other and become better people.
So here's the question though, Carrie. I'm asking you to be self-centered in the moment. What is the purpose of your life? Is it to be this knowledge and pour into others? Awesome. Is it to be this servant of others? Awesome. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. What is the purpose of your life, Carrie?
To help see people for who they are and mirror that back to them.
Awesome. To provide that mirror of their best.
Right.
So they can see just how amazing they really are. Because most people have these horrible glasses when they look at themselves. Beautiful. Yeah. And I saw you're up. What do you got? And then, okay, Nafritha, go.
So me or Ian?
I'm going with you, Nafritha, right now. What's the purpose of your life?
Oh, the purpose of my life, I am a connector. I'm a bridge. I am the bridge that people use to cross over to get from A to Z. And in crossing that bridge, I spread love, motivation, inspiration, and support. But that's what my purpose is in service, and for my life is to be that bridge.
So notice how the wind is blowing, and also notice how everybody, I'm just doing those 3, has a different purpose, and that's awesome. So I want to distill these down. I'm going to chunk them up and see if we can all be in agreement on this. The purpose of life, the purpose of your life, my life, the purpose of life is to truly live, whatever your definition is, before you die. The purpose of life is to truly live before you die. Anybody disagree with that? What is the purpose of business?
To support your life.
I was going to say to truly profit before it dies.
To fund that perfect life. Period. The purpose of business is to fund that perfect life. So you guys, I'm begging you to start leaning into living that perfect life. Because right now, for most people in real estate, like, you know, I've heard in this room before and heard again today, we're a slave to the business, especially in real estate. God, we have this story of we've got to do all these things. We've got to be all these things. We've got to be responsive all the time, every time. And so what happens is when we're doing our business stuff, we're kind of in the back of our head going, man, I need to spend more time with my family. I need to see the kids more. I need to invest more quality time in my spouse. And then when we're actually with the family or with the spouse, our head's on business. And this, by the way, it's great the client brought this up, because this is one of the reasons why the very first foundational cornerstone is the calendar. So you block out time for God. And so you're not sitting in church thinking, oh, I got to be doing my business. That's God time, and you're going to be committed to that. So you block out time for family, and you absolutely live and commit to those moments for family. And then the business goes in the rest. It's exactly why our calendar scheduling system is built the way it is. So you start living that perfect life spiritually and relationship wise, and you start putting the business where it truly belongs. And I promise you guys, you do that and your business will blow up. Jeanette, what do you got? We're back to the content.
Oh, I was accidentally in.
So
I'm
it was
sorry.
a happy little accident. What do you have, Jeanette?
Thank you. I'm
Yes.
getting to this. Like I said, I'm getting in back again. I'm going through this, and I'm going through the profit first. And so Doug and I were talking about this morning, or the profit first on pages, assessing the health of your business. So we're going back with that. Hey, Russ, hide and seek. Okay.
It's windy out here on the terrace.
So you're back home. You know, I had a hard time figuring out. It's interesting that the owner's comp on page 68. So the real revenue, where you go to your last year's tax return, and then you're assess, you know, what's your revenue range, and then the expense, the real revenue. I got to figure out how to do that. So that's 100% of your revenue range. The profit, you take 5% off of that, the owner's comp. The thing I haven't, you know, where does the tithe fit in? I haven't figured out quite where that is, because, you know, an owner's comp is also part of the profit. So,
Well,
but that's a personal thing, I
here's
realized.
the question for you.
The giving.
So here's the question for you. Initially, should the giving, based on the biblical tithe perspective, because I know that's where you're coming from, be based on your personal revenue? What you're taking home?
It talks about the increase, which
Let's just stay right now on step. Let's
top.
stay on step one.
Okay.
Should not the tithe be based on what you truly bring home? On the owner side of the equation, you're going to give from your pocket. Accurate or inaccurate?
I realize that also it's kind of a matter of opinion, but I think, yes, I hear that that's what you're saying. And I have done both. Like,
now
right,
can I go to step two?
Yes.
Once you get your financial house in order, which I believe God wants all of you to do, Once you actually lean into a profit first life and build your business so it truly is profitable and trim out some of the other stuff, can we now make the business also tied? Yes or yes?
Oh, yes. The business,
So let's go on to number 3 right now. Jeanette, just between you and me, because I know your business really well. Might there already be some tithing, some giving, some helping others already built maybe over in your business model right now?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
See, Jeanette's got this hard of taking care of people. And so, and it's back into the content. She's got payroll that she now gets to analyze on the profit first model. Does it mean that we can't in the future, once we get our financial house in order first and then build, all getting to that magic pending number? And if you don't know your magic pending number, have a call with Coach Russ so we can talk about your goals, run the finances, and I can give you that number. Because if you hit your magic pending number and just stay there, everything else will fall into place. I promise you. So does it make sense, Jeanette? We get to that we trim, we clean, we get to the magic pending number, and now we can start building more systems to generate more top line revenue, which will ultimately, because we're running profit first, create more owner's comp and more profit and more opportunity to tithe. Yes or yes?
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is you can't outgive God at any time. So
absolutely. So that's why I would like all of you to look at this piece of giving, because I want you to have a giving heart. I absolutely know the more you give, the more shows up in your life. So you've got to let go a little bit, yet we still got to follow the system, the model. And then when it's your dollars at the end of the day, maybe you start over tipping. You get horrible service and you give them a 25% tip to send the message that they're still loved no matter what. Maybe you invest in other stuff. You know, you never know. You might be the one changing their day. Let's get our personal financial houses in order first and tithe from there. Okay. What else you guys have? Client, you were on the food chain there. Early on, you had a nugget.
Oh, what was my nugget?
Okay, camera's on now. I'll let you talk if your camera's on. Okay.
Yeah, what was the nugget?
I don't know, but you would initially come on right out of the gate when I asked, what did you pull out of this?
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about how, and you covered it actually, but we were talking about how life and business are intertwined. And as real estate agents, you know, I said, if someone asks me who I am, my default is I'm a real estate agent. That's my default. And it's kind of wild because, you know, I'm a man, I'm a human, but immediately I'm a real estate agent. And so we were talking the other day, yesterday, about how that intertwining kind of affects us because if we're successful in our real estate, we feel like our life is successful. And just how that just kind of swims in between each other. We just thought that was kind of interesting. But you covered it because it seems like some of it.
Client.
Sure, go for it.
If someone asks who you are, and that is your initial definition, I'm a real estate agent, because you use the I am statement. What does that tell me about your priorities?
That my priorities are probably screwed up.
So I'm giving you
but I'm just dealing with just at first blush. Maybe if I thought about it in 2 seconds, I would say, oh, I'm this and this and this. But at first blush, as a guy, because I'm a guy, so we think guy ways. That's at first blush. Ladies will probably say, I'm a mom first. I don't know, you know?
It's a subconscious pattern. I'm not going to say first blush, like you consciously went, you know what? I'm going to define myself by my career. That is your subconscious coming up. I'm looking for all of you to reprogram using different language. The words that come out of your mouth are your natural programming. So Coach is being even more present for the words coming out of your guy's mouth to help you begin changing. The words are the natural programming, and then the words you consciously use are how you reprogram the subconscious. So you got to start being conscious about how you wish to define yourself. I will tell you now, for me, my absolute biggest win, biggest victory is being a father and husband. I have nailed the family and still do to this day. So for me, I'm defined as I am a child of God who is a great husband and father. The business is kind of what I do to fund that. Now, by the way, your definition can be different from your mission statement. My mission statement is to have every single real estate agent who enters my universe be financially, time, and location free within 5 years of showing up. Do you think I've said that more than once to myself? Both of those have been consciously used over the last 8 months, 9 months, after my kids got out of college and everybody was done and on to real big boy and big girl jobs. I had to redefine what that mission statement was going to be, because now I've got all these children I'm looking at now. You're all my little kids. You're my business kids. How cool is that? So I challenge you guys to build those two as part of this Profit First, and remember that this is what's supporting the big life. And what do you got?
Yeah, there was no other mics on, so I thought, well, I took a lot away from today. I appreciated when he talked about why are we not withholding 35% of our tax into our tax thing, because that was sitting in the back of my head and making me feel really gross. And I hadn't even picked up on it until he said it. And I was like, oh my God, that's a problem. And then he explained why. It's not 35%. It's not 35%. It's like 15, maybe 16% by the time we take all of our deductions and, you know, OPEX and go into all of that stuff. And for me, that was like, that's like earth shattering in my head. That changes my relationship with my taxes forever. So I really appreciated that. As far as who I am, what I am a joyful soul, and my goal moving forward is to be a catalyst for other people's joy. And EXP lets me do that by helping them with exactly what you were saying: location, financially independent within 5 years. Boom. Love it.
Let's go, girl. I love it, and really appreciate the authentic joy versus the manufactured joy we've been seeing the last. It'll be wrapped up in 5 days. How cool is that? And we will be on with life. Caesar, brother, I saw your mic come on. What do you got, my friend? Good to see you.
Yeah, a great point that you made, Coach, where I probably saw myself maybe in the same way, a realtor or something like this, but ever since my little daughter entered my world, it's a complete change of how you view things, how you're projecting towards the future and planning and the motivation. And now the iPhone has like this one photo shuffle thing. So it's like each day it's just a reminder of why I'm doing this. And to bring it back around, I remember, I believe the definition of business, if you can refresh or like probably fine tune it, is, or the reason why we do this is to fund our life, or clean that up for us. But like that was what reminded me of why we're doing this.
Yeah, the purpose of business is to fund that perfect life, your perfect life. Now you guys get to spend some time journaling on what that perfect life looks like. You need to be thinking about it. Yeah, imagine right now if you asked every person you touched today what their perfect life looked like. How many of them would really have an answer?
Minimal.
Because they've never thought about it. They've never put in the work. I know Caesar has. We've talked a lot about it. I know many of you have. And really, I'm not asking for your reasonable perfect life. I want you to be unreasonable. One of the things we learned about at conference, great speaker, day 2, general session 2, was unreasonable hospitality. By the way, this guy who doesn't work in the kitchen at all, he's not a kitchen guy. He's a front of the house guy. Took his restaurant to #1 on the Michelin star rating, #1 restaurant in the world, without doing a damn thing with the food. It was all based on the experience, the hospitality, and it was unreasonable. So I want you guys to get unreasonable about what your life, your perfect life, can be, what you desire. It needs to be so much bigger. So many of us stop and we go, well, that's not realistic. I'm telling you, let go of realistic and start dreaming bigger than you can imagine, and watch what happens. Jeanette, Caesar, you go first. You're wrapping up. Yep. And then
I
I'll
want
go
to add to that, Coach, quickly, because his book is amazing as well. And if you guys have not listened to it or got it, please do, because it's not all about restaurants. It's about hospitality.
What's the book, sir?
It's called Unreasonable Hospitality, and it will be in this book room in next year. It is on the reading list.
And just to give you guys an example of the service, he has people called dream catchers that just kind of walk around through the tables and just listen on to like the tables, pretty much dreams. One of the tables was like someone that tried all the food. They tried everything, and they were leaving the next morning or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you know what? We never tried a hot dog, a New York hot dog. Someone heard it. They went and grabbed a few hot dogs, put it down to the chef, then brought it out to the table. Here's your hot dogs that you guys haven't had yet. I'll leave you guys with this one. The next one was I believe a family from Spain that's never seen snow. So on the last day, it starts snowing. The guy, the manager, somebody catches up, orders like 4 sleds and in a car to take them sledding that night. So like amazing experiences, which like, it doesn't matter how great the food is, that experience you will never forget for the rest of your life. Those kids will tell their kids, so like that was what really, from what my understanding is, what took them to like this higher level. It was like not the other little food. Yeah, the food was great, obviously, but it was like these little small things. And as soon as you would come in, they would know, oh, Mr. Kallio, how are you? We're here they would know like what you're doing there for. Like they wouldn't ask you, oh, what's your name, and then look up your reservation. They would know exactly who's coming to every single table. So just give you a little piece and how we should think about how we can incorporate that level of service into our business. Just wanted to add that to you guys.
So that is what I want to talk about now. I told you I had some things I wanted to cover at the end of today. So we are going to take and have a mastermind, and I would love as many people as possible in it, because what he did is they took their entire process from beginning to end of the interaction with the human being, and they brainstormed every single touch in their process that could occur. So I want to get a group of us together in a mastermind, probably a 30-minute, maybe an hour mastermind, where we brainstorm, no right or wrong answers, what that entire process for a buyer could and should be. We are then, when we have all the touch points, going to have the people in that mastermind take a touch point or 2 or 3, depending on how many we have, home and write what we could do to make that touch point incredible. So together we can brainstorm and create our renegade ultimate buyer experience that we will have a step-by-step checklist of how to do it. We get that one done, we will do the ultimate listing. We get that one done, we'll get the ultimate buy-sell combo. We're going to start building out these checklist systems, because here's the other fun part of it. If you truly know every step in a checklist, do you now have the ability to leverage other people to get some of that done? This is the beginning of you building leverage in your business, and we're doing it right out of the gate by doing it with each other. Number 2, Monday, Think and Grow Rich. Have you guys seen anything from expert partners, anything while I've been gone that came in, making sure that we announced that Monday is Think and Grow Rich? Have you guys seen anything?
I have.
Yeah. Don had mentioned it this week.
Well, he mentioned it. I asked, have you seen anything? Emails, text, any marketing?
I saw Maria's like a Facebook on the group.
Awesome.
Yep, we posted on Facebook and Workplace.
Okay. Posted Facebook and Workplace. I know they're going to do another one yet. It's us to, this is your opportunity to invite. I don't want you to be professional recruiters. I want you to be professional inviters. You keep bringing people and loving on them. One of the best things you do in your marketplace, this book is inexpensive. Go buy 10 of them and invite people and give them the book. By the way, I never give a book away without writing a note about them in the front cover. Hey, Jim, you are such an amazing human being. You are a touchstone in the real estate space. When I think of success, I think of you, and I know you're into growth. So here is another step in your growth journey. Love Russ. Okay? And get those out and invite people. And then the last thing I'm looking for is leaders for our power hours. Because starting this weekend, I am going to be another hour ahead of all of you. You guys all daylight savings, and Puerto Rico doesn't. So when we have this morning mindset, it's going to be 11 o'clock Russ time, which means call time in the afternoon, I'm not going to be as active in because it's going to be 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I'm looking for leaders to step up and help lead those power hours and others to open up stuff earlier in the day that they want to do right here in the Renegade Room. So as long as it doesn't conflict with something else we have scheduled, I want to see more leaders in this room leading call time. Even if it's just you by yourself committing to doing the hour, having your camera on. So if anybody comes in and checks, they see you're working. That's how we hold each other accountable to do it. Okay. So yes, ma'am.
Fast cap. Can you just go over that real quick?
Fast cap is something that EXP does. We are now running 3 launches a month at EXP, and it is a shorter term accountability environment. They've got some great tracking tools, by the way, that we all now get for free. So if you're looking to have a good tracking and accountability tool on your technology, it's included to help you stay on track doing the work. And here's what I know, guys, is somebody that's been leading and coaching this space for a long time. If you're not hitting your magic pending number, you're not doing the work. That's it. You're not having the conversations. You're waiting for calls to come to you rather than just getting after it and making it happen. So by the way, that's a bonus. So, you know, in November, and very soon in November, I will be launching an expireds and FSBO and pre-foreclosure. I'll let you guys know. I already set 3 people up on the system that were at EXPCon, and now we're going to roll into coaching. This weekend, I'm going to be going through my scripts, making sure they're dialed, and I've got great content, great data, $100 a month through my data service provider, so I can plug you up with that. This is the same one that I used when I went from brand new agent to 25 listings in 90 days. I've been on their platform since 2013. So I can help you guys. The key, though, is you've got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to have the conversations. Stay in the game, keep batting, okay? So appreciate you sticking around for me a little bit here. Now that I'm back.
Wait, Coach,
I'm not